Приветствую тебя на игровом канале Татарин Гейм. Приятного просмотра.
I'm afraid you were right when you said these hostilities wouldn't end at Probislavitz.
That comes as no surprise.
What has happened?
My men reported 2 more attacks today.
Ah, Henry. I'm glad you're here. It seems like we'll have another task for you. Come and join us.
My lord.
Greetings, lad.
The bandits raided a few remote hamlets, but that's the least of our worries. They also attacked Merhoyed, and that's a much more serious matter.
Merhoyed. Matthias is working there.
They attacked right after the battle in Probislavitz. Bastards were probably trying to prove they're still strong. But there's a silver lining. The villagers held them off, and they even took 1 captive. He's wounded, but we can still interrogate him.
Your Graces, I hope I'm not intruding.
On the contrary, Master Tobias. Unlike Bernard, you are the bearer of good tidings. Or so I gather from the coin you carry. Tell me, how many groschen did we find in Probislavitz?
My lord, I'm sorry, but my news is no better than Captain Bernard's. These coins are very good. That is to say, well-made facsimiles, as we call them.
What? I don't give a what you call them. I want to know what they're facking worth.
That's just it, sir. They're worth nothing.
Are you saying what I think you're saying, Master Tobias? This here
is just a pile of copper.
Kurva! Fuck!
Plated with silver, so it's still of some worth.
Kurva! Fuck!
Is it a lot of work to make such counterfeits, Master Tobias?
I should say so, sir. Highly demanding work. Especially to make such plausible forgeries. They would need a well-hidden foundry, several craftsmen, and a source of material.
But they could just be brought in from somewhere else, could they not?
Well, they could, but then again, the silver mines are nearby, and these groschen seem freshly minted, so...
So we are facing a foe who has almost limitless sources of coin. That's all we need.
Doppeltel.
Well, gentlemen, it's clear what we have to do. Interrogate that captive bandit, find out their numbers, and promptly cut off their supply of money. Otherwise, they'll soon have another encampment.
If they haven't already.
I doubt it, sir. Merhoyed wouldn't have been able to hold them off if they did.
Well, lad, I said we'd have work for you, but it never crossed my mind there would be this much. You've already proved your worth as an investigator, so I'm putting my faith in you again. Go to Merhoyed and question that captive. Find out where those brigands are hiding, how many there are, and what they're planning. And while you're at it, see if you can find some clues as to where this counterfeit coin is coming from.
Very well, sir.
Good luck. We're counting on you. All of us. Come report to me as soon as you know anything. I'll be at the lookout point near Talmberg.
Are you Melikar?
Aye, that's me.
I need to speak with the prisoner.
And why is that? Who might you be?
Henry, envoy of Saradze Kobala. I'm here to investigate the attack.
I'm sorry. I have other things on my mind right now. In case you hadn't noticed, we have pestilence raging here. And Saradzig won't help us with that, any more than he helped us when we were attacked.
No news has reached Ratai of any disease here. But I'm here now, and I can help you.
Well, since you serve Saradzig, you might be of some use. If anyone can be.
Tell me what to do.
There's a stable hand living with us here, Matthias.
Yes, I know him.
And he knows some girl who helps out in the monastery infirmary. Johanka, I think her name is. She might know someone to turn to, if she's actually there.
Very well. I'll go to the monastery. It's probably our best hope.
Thank you. At least for taking the trouble. But then, even if you cared nothing for us, the prisoner's got the pestilence too. He'll die without help.
If I have to go to the monastery, I need to know as much as possible about the disease. I'll definitely need to know its symptoms. They're bound to ask me that.
It's hard to say. My wife is feverish. Others have the chills. I heard some are throwing up. Others still are breaking out in sores. But why don't you see for yourself? People talk a lot and I don't know what to believe anymore.
Very well. I'll make the rounds.
I've daubed lime on the afflicted houses, but don't stay too long in those homes.
That I can promise you.
What? Have you come for my wife? You're out of luck. I'm old Straw, don't you know? Straw! You've taken my son. But you shan't take my wife. You bastard.
I've come to help your wife.
To help her over to the other side. Isn't that God's own truth?
I'm sorry that they killed your son. I truly am sorry. But if you don't want that disease to take your wife, you'll let me see her right away. I can help her.
I don't undertake it, no.
There. You see?
Huh? What? Are you a quack?
Something like that.
Then go to it. Go!
Fever. Just like Melikhar's wife.
You're not allowed inside. If you want to go in, talk to Melikar. I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
What's happened here?
Things are bad. Very bad. First we get attacked by them brigands, barely come out of that alive. And now, the plague.
Plague, you say?
Indeed so. Something's up with the village. Even the livestock are dying. It's a gruesome sight.
I heard the bandits didn't get very far here, though.
Luckily, young Straw saw them still over by the cross and woke the whole village. We even captured one. He's tied up now at Melikar's place. But then, the disease came.
Who attacked you?
I don't know. Some bandits. Ever since Skullets was raised, they've been marauding the whole province.
Did you put up a fight?
We most certainly did. Once Melikar heard young Straw shouting to the hills, he handed everyone a pitchfork or a flail, and we ambushed the bastards.
Good on you. How did it turn out?
We gave them what for until they turned tail and ran. But they cut up young Straw something awful. He didn't live to see morning.
Who are Melikar and Straw?
That's right, you're not from around here, are you? Melikar's the one looking after things round here now. Before that, it was down to Smill from the Neuhoff stud. But they killed him that time they raided the place. And young Straw is the son of Andrew, a local woodcutter. Or was, I should say. The bandits saw to that. His old man isn't taking it well.
Tell me more about this plague. It sounds terrible.
Worse than you can imagine. The whole stud, livestock, sheep, chickens, all dead or dying. No doubt the people will be next. Melikar's old woman's taken to her bed, and it doesn't look good. Straw's wife and brother. More and more.
I'm sorry to hear it. I'm looking for Matthias. He works as a stable hand at the stud farm.
Matthias. The brigands got him, poor lad. He's lying wounded at the stud.
Thanks. That'll be all for now. I need to talk to that captive.
Sorry, no one's allowed inside. Melikar's orders.
But I'm Sir Radzig Cobbler's envoy, and I urgently need to question the captive.
I don't care if you're the Pope's envoy. I can't let you in. If you want to talk to the captive, you have to get permission from Melikar.
Hal? You're a sight for sore eyes. What are you doing here?
It's good to see you too, Matthias. Sir Radzig sent me here to investigate the raid.
Sir Radzig? Looks like you've come up in the world, mate. You're here as his envoy?
Yeah, something like that. But that's not important right now.
Well, I'm glad to see you have a job. Lots of our old neighbors have been reduced to begging. If I were in your shoes, I'd get the hell out of here. There's some disease spreading.
Disease?
Folk are saying it's the plague. Whatever it is, it's bad. It started the day after the raid. First the horses got sick, then other animals, and now people are falling ill too.
Oh, damn! Are you alright?
Well, at least I haven't caught the sickness.
But you've been hurt?
It happened during the raid. One of those damn bandits fell on me, horse and all. My arm's badly broken, but better than a broken neck.
Tell me about the raid.
What do you want to know?
I know you've got courage enough for any man, but how did a bunch of untrained villagers manage to hold off armed bandits?
One of the village lads caught sight of them coming through the woods and told Melikar, who roused the whole village, and everyone grabbed what they could. Pitchforks, axes, flails, and we went out to face them.
What? You mounted an assault against them?
Aye, and that was the key. It was the last thing those whoresons expected. A few of them still managed to break through to the village, probably wanted to torch it. But even the women here were armed with what they could find, and they took the bastards by surprise.
About this sickness. When did this plague start?
The day after the raid. The horses were lying down in the stable, so we knew something was up. By afternoon, they were all dead. Then other animals started getting sick, one after the other, and then people.
What are the signs that someone's getting sick?
I don't leave the house much, but folk complain of fever and shakes. Some are throwing their guts up, and others are spewing from the other end.
Has anyone died from it?
Aye, old Verba. Although he was already on his last legs, so no one knows for sure if it was the plague that got him. Either way, the animals are dropping like flies, and people will end up the same for sure.
Who's ill now?
I don't know. What with my arm the way it is, I don't go outdoors much. But I know Melachar and Straw have sick ones at home.
Can I ask you a bit about Merhoyed?
I haven't been here long enough to learn much, but ask away.
The sunset cloud across the sky.
Hey! He's here again!
Well, I never. Henry!
Hey! He really is ignoring us.
Henry!
I'm glad to see you.
We know each other?
Do we know each other? Did a cumin hit you over the head?
Is he making fun of us?
Oh, they really did hit you over the head with something, didn't they?
Well, they did give me a good beating. And I've definitely got a few things mixed up.
But did you get a coin from the barn?
What? Coin? From the barn?
Stop making fun of Henry. You can see he's confused.
Idiots.
So, do you remember us now?
Yes. 2 blockheads from Skalitz. Before the attack, you two were bullshitting in the tavern.
He recognizes us.
I'm almost surprised how happy I am to see the pair of you are all right.
We are now, but we barely made it.
Yeah, it was hard. Fritz ran like a little girl.
Really?
Bollocks! Bloody Joker.
Tell us what happened to you.
They gave me a pretty good thrashing as well. It was only in Ratai that I got back in my right mind.
You're not doing too well either, are you?
Right now, I'm a squire for Sir Radzig.
I see you've worked your way up.
And how are you two getting by?
It's shit.
You said it. We're still chopped off to bits, owe the monastery a bundle, and there's no work here.
Not for anyone with more than half a brain, anyway.
Well, you two and work never got along. But don't tell me that they're not in need of carpenters. They're reconstructing the monastery.
They don't want us there.
And there's nothing else around here.
Hey, you wouldn't happen to know of anything?
It will really help us out right now.
Well, I can ask around, but I'm not promising anything.
Thanks, Henry.
We'll pay off the debt, don't you worry.
And where would they hire you to?
Well, we were carpenters in the mines, so wherever they work with wood, I suppose. Forget about construction. After Skalitz, no one will be building for a long time. Just here in Sasau, and they don't want us here. The best chance we have is to work at a mill. People always have to eat. Ideally, we're looking for a job that pays a lot and doesn't require much work.
What other neighbours of ours made it?
Your hunker's in the monastery. That girl really helped us out. That's about all we know. When we ran for it, we helped Teresa. But who knows where she is now? We got separated.
I owe my life to Teresa. She hauled me unconscious to the mill in Ratai and nursed me back to health.
I'm glad she survived. Since you know her so well, why not try asking her if she knows about any work? What the hell?
Welcome, Henry.
I don't know if you've heard about it, but Merhoyed was attacked.
Oh God! How is Matthias?
Wounded in the arm. He's being brave about it, but his injury looks bad.
I need to see him.
Before you go, there's something else.
What?
Some kind of disease has taken hold in Merhoyed. Their livestock has died off, and now the people are coming down with it too. I thought maybe someone here might know what to do.
Merciful heavens. How awful. It's a good thing you've come here. If there's any hope, this is the place to find it. You need Brother Nicodemus, the monastery physician. He may know how to deal with it.
Very well, I'll try to find him.
Come back when you know more.
Thank you, Johanka.
Hey, watch it. I'll remember you.
Some kind of disease has taken hold in Merhoyed. Johanka said that you might be able to advise.
A disease, you say? How intriguing.
Intriguing? It's terrifying.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound uncaring.
All right. The important thing is whether you can help us.
I can't say at this point. I need to find out a little more. Tell me, has the whole village come down with it?
I expect so, or why would they be so fearful about it?
Merhoyed? Isn't there a stud farm there? And what of the animals? Did they get infected too?
Yes, there's a stud farm. And they've all died off. The horses, the cattle, chickens, and now it's got to the people.
That is most intriguing. Sorry, I mean to say it's most unusual. Do you know the symptoms?
Yes, more or less.
Excellent. I have several extensive volumes here in the library. Describe the epidemic, including the symptoms, and we could take some guidance there. Can you read?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. So follow me to the scriptorium.
So, where shall we start?
Evidently there's something amiss in the digestive tract.
In the what?
The digestive tract, Henry.
Right.
The trouble lies between the mouth and the arsehole.
Uh-huh. Sure. Just so.
We can rule nothing out at this stage. You look in the Breviarum de Sickness Causa. It's a renowned manuscript from Salerno, written by one Johann of St. Paul.
But I don't know Latin.
Fortunately for you, our brother librarian is translating these momentous medical works into the common tongue, so you can still be of use. Study the breviary carefully and compare the symptoms with the recorded cases. That will guide us. I'll try the proven classics, Avicenna and his Canon Medicinae, and Galen's magnum opus, the Ars Medicinalis.
I think I have it.
Yes? And what do you make of it?
It's poisoning from tainted water.
Really? That sounds rather unlikely. But if Master Johann of St. Paul's says so, who am I to contradict him? We shall have to prepare some medicine at once.
I don't think I can help out with that.
I didn't expect you could. You surprised me quite enough with your reading. But enough chatter. Time is of the essence. I'll get to work brewing the potion, and then head straight to Merhoyed with your hunker. I expect we'll meet there?
That works for me. But can't I help in some way?
Best spend the time praying. We can always use God's help.
Matthew and Fritz send their regards.
They survived. My God, I'm glad. They helped me out a lot. And where did you see them?
In Sasau. I bumped into them in front of the tavern. Where else?
And how are they doing?
They're doing fine. The monks brought them back to health. But they don't have work, and they're in debt. You wouldn't happen to know of any jobs going for two lazy carpenters?
Not here. And I think it will be the same in all of Ratai. It's overcrowded with refugees and they're all looking for work.
That's bad. Those two need work badly. To keep them out of mischief. You know what they're like.
I do indeed. Try the mills in the smaller hamlets. The miller in the Dechko is old. Maybe he could use some strong hands.
I will. Thanks. Teresa, the millmaid, sent me. She said you could use some help.
Some extra pairs of hands would be useful. What do you have in mind?
My friends, two survivors of Skalitz, are looking for work.
And why should I take them?
They're experienced carpenters.
Why not? Carpenters would be helpful. There's a lot of work here at the mill, and I'm not as spry as I used to be. Thomas, my foreman, tries his best, but he ain't up to that kind of work. But they aren't idlers and drunks, are they? I only take in people who are willing to do hard, honest work.
They're good men. From Skalitz. Basically your neighbours. You have to help them.
That's God's own truth. Love thy neighbour as thyself. Tell them I'll give them a chance. We'll talk about pay and a roof over their heads when they get here.
Pull me an ale. God be with you.
Here, just as you ordered.
The miller and Ledechko would be happy to meet you.
You really found work for us?
Of course. I couldn't bear to look at those sour faces of yours a moment longer.
Thanks, Henry. Only...
What?
The reward we talked about, well,
I'm hungry.
we haven't got
Like
2
a bite
groschen
to
to
eat.
rub together.
Nah, that doesn't matter.
Here we are.
You'll pay me when you have it.
That we will. Stop by and visit us in a week. We'll pay you back as soon as we get our first wage.
Here's to a good harvest.
Here, just as you ordered.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
We found out what could be the cause of the affliction.
And?
You should check where your water's coming from. Nicodemus and I think that it comes down to poisoning.
It'd be hard to poison the spring, but what about the well? Good lord, that's difficult to believe.
I have my suspicions.
The bastards weren't satisfied with killing young Straw. The fucking bastards!
So here I am. How are things looking?
It's a good thing you're here. We need a helping hand. You can take the cure to the villagers and make sure they take the right dose. I'll take care of Melekar and Straw. You go around the rest of the houses. They wouldn't let me go near that prisoner. They want him to suffer. Despite his terrible crimes, to treat a fellow mortal soul like that.
Perhaps I'll be able to convince them. I promised I'd bring them help, and I've kept my word. They must let me go to him.
I hope so, but in the short while I've been here, I've found the locals to be rather stubborn.
Now let's wait and see what happens.
Welcome back to the land of the living.
Who are you?
My name is Henry, and I'm investigating on behalf of Sir Radzig Kobyla.
Oh, I see. You'll have an easy job with me, boy.
How so?
I won't give you any problems.
That's sensible of you.
I'm a sensible man. Only I'd like to get it over quick and not keep the Rattay executioner busy too long, if you catch my drift.
I understand.
What do you want to know?
Everything. First, tell me who's behind all this. Who do you follow?
I follow the coin, lad. We all do.
That's not news to me, but who pays the coin?
I got my pay from Runt, like all the men in Pribyslavitz. And Runt got his money from the chief, and the chief had the coin minted.
Who's the chief? The bandit leader?
Bandit? If he heard you say that, he'd have your head on a spike. That's the kind of man he is. Nobody knows much about him, though. Only that he ain't Czech.
So he's a foreigner? German?
Don't think so. For sure he ain't Czech. And he's got plenty of coin. I'd stake my neck on it. He's got noble blood in his veins.
Judging by how he looks?
More by the way he talks. Any man can dress up like nobility, but he spoke all la-di-da, like a lord.
Where's that chief of yours now?
I've no idea. After Pribyslavitz, he ordered us to raid Merhoyed, but he wasn't with us. He went off who knows where. I don't reckon he'll be out of your hair for long, though.
So the chief is in command of all these operations?
You could say. I'd say you're looking at it all wrong, though.
How's that?
You ask who's in charge and who answers to who, only this ain't some noble court. There was all sorts of gangs in Pribyslavitz, big and small. Robber barons who had their own brigades calling them my lord, and common footpads who hadn't a pot to piss in. Men came, men went. Lots of squabbles, the occasional murder. Old cronies and old rivals were meeting. You know what I mean?
I suppose so.
It was one big muddle. The main thing was nobody asked questions. I didn't give a damn who the chief was or what he had in mind or whether he had one ball or two. All I was interested in was the coin.
Uh-huh. How did you know about Pribyslavitz? Who took you there?
A fellow by the name of Moorcock. We met near Kuttenberg. I was robbing burghers who were fleeing the town from Sigismund's army. We got to talking and he told me about Pribyslavitz.
Why did you attack Merhoyed?
The chief himself gave us the order. I reckon he wanted to show the local lords he was nowhere near finished.
So he's planning more raids?
The chief's always planning something. Pribyslavitz was only the start.
So you knew the coin was counterfeit?
Course I did. I brought those groschen to Pribyslavitz, along with a few other things.
Did you? And where did the forgeries come from?
Like, where were they made? I don't know. Some merchant by the name of Menhart gave them to me. We used to meet at the charcoal piles near Rovna, by the crossroads there. As it happens, I'm supposed to be meeting him there about now.
So Menhart's waiting there?
Might be, might not. He could have heard what happened in Pribyslavitz and decided not to show.
And does this Menhart know where the coin comes from?
How should I know? To me, he's just another link in the chain. I deal with him, and I never ask who he deals with. Just like he knows nothing about me.
I see. So I suppose there's no point asking you if you know any more about him.
It'd be a waste of breath. All he did was give me the coin, and then we went our separate ways.
Who else knows about the money?
Apart from the chief, Menhart, Runt and me, there was a few others. The men got some real money too, with the false stuff. It'd be suspicious if they only had freshly minted coin.
You said you used to bring other things. What were they?
Letters. Menhart would give them to me for the chief. This time I was taking an answer back to Menhart too.
Have you still got that letter?
Aye. The yokels round here ain't got much interest in correspondence, apparently.
Give it to me then.
I'd be delighted.
What were the letters about?
If I knew how to read, I wouldn't be trusted to carry letters, would I? I took them from Menhart to the chief and back. That's all.
That's all I need to know for now.
For now, for the love of Christ, boy, don't let the executioner interrogate me. I've already told you everything I know.
I can't deny you've been cooperative. I'll do my best to see you get a quick end.
Henry! I think old Straw's come for the brigand.
Step back from that Eden, young fella!
But you can't kill me! Not just like that!
Shut the fuck up, you weasel, and keep it fucking shut! You don't even get a say!
Calm down, Straw. He won't escape justice. After all, he's...
Don't stand in my way, Melikar!
Let Henry decide. He's the one who saved his life.
Let's talk about it.
To hell with that! That Orson killed my boy! He won't leave Merhoyed alive!
Listen to me, Straw. That isn't going to help anyone. You're a decent man, not a killer. Think of your wife.
And where's the justice in that? My boy cut down in his youth. Didn't even have a chance to marry. And that cutthroat swine left walking the earth?
Don't worry, he won't escape justice. Surely you don't think Sir Radzig will just let him go?
What's Sir Radzig to me? You won't even let me avenge the death of my own son? Take him then. Take him and leave me with nothing but my grief.
I promise you he'll suffer for what he did.
Be quiet and go quickly, before I change my mind.
God bless you. What troubles you?
I've returned from Merhoyed, sir.
How does it look there?
I brought them help from the monastery. Brother Nicodemus and Johanka from Skalitz. Fortunately, Nicodemus was able to cure the disease. Well, at least what he's doing looks promising so far.
Thank Christ. Some good news for a change. What about the captive? Did you question him?
He was infected too.
I see. Did he survive?
Fortunately, he survived and I had a chance to question him.
What did you find out?
He was transporting the false coins to Pribyslavitz. He got them from some merchant called Menhart.
I don't know him.
Neither do I. But I know where the money's handed over. It's not far from Rovna, and this Menhart should be waiting there about now.
Excellent, Henry. We mustn't let this opportunity slip through our fingers. You go there and put pressure on this Menhart to tell us what he knows. Don't go yet. There's something I'd like to talk to you about.
You haven't disappointed me. Nothing against Bernard, Robert, or any of those others. But none of them could find out as much as you. At least not without beatings and torture. And that doesn't always work. You're a godsend, lad.
Thank you, sir.
Now go and find out who's behind everything, and then we'll deal with them.
Yes, sir. Sir.
What is it?
Sometimes I ask myself what it all means. Why does God allow such things to happen? All this slaughter and revenge, over and over.
It's a hard question. I'm no theologian. But long ago I came to the conclusion that the only thing that makes sense is that it's all a trial. Life is one long series of problems to solve. The more you solve, the better a man you become.
I never thought about it that way.
Well, just look at the pampered ones who have no concerns in life, like young Lord Capon, for instance. I shudder to think how he will rule when his time comes. Tribulations spawn in life over and over again, and we must stand our ground and face them. So, I go to Sasso and solve this one.
You can rely on me, sir.
Good luck, son.